The Romance Dawn arc is the introductory segment of One Piece, focusing on the beginnings of Monkey D. Luffy's journey to become the Pirate King. The story starts with a young Luffy living in the small village of Fuchsia, where he idolizes the pirate red-haired Shanks. Inspired by Shanks's bravery and camaraderie, Luffy dreams of becoming a great pirate. One day, Luffy accidentally eats a devil fruit, the gum-gum fruit, which grants his body rubber-like properties, but curses him with the inability to swim. Despite the dangers, Luffy remains determined to pursue his dream. Shanks eventually leaves the village, but not before entrusting Luffy with his treasured straw hat, symbolizing a promise that Luffy will become a great pirate and return it to him. With this motivation, Luffy sets out to sea, determined to assemble a crew and find the legendary treasure known as the One Piece. Monkey D. Luffy continues his journey and meets key characters who will shape his adventures. Luffy arrives in Orange Town and encounters a notorious pirate named Buggy the Clown, who possesses the Chop Chop fruit, allowing him to separate his body parts at will. During his stay, Luffy meets Roronoa Zoro, a formidable swordsman and bounty hunter who has been captured by the Marines. Luffy helps Zoro escape, and in gratitude, Zoro joins Luffy's crew as the first mate. They also meet Nami, a skilled thief and navigator, who initially deceives them by pretending to ally with Buggy. However, Nami's true intention is to steal Buggy's map to the Grand Line. As the conflict with Buggy escalates, Luffy, Zoro, and Nami work together to defeat him and his crew. Through their combined efforts, they liberate Orange Town from Buggy's tyranny. Nami, seeing the potential for mutual benefit and a shared goal, temporarily joins Luffy's crew as their navigator, marking the beginning of a partnership that will grow deeper as their journey continues. The Syrup Village arc is the third narrative arc in One Piece, where Luffy and his crew encounter new allies and face a cunning adversary. The arc begins with Luffy, Zoro, and Nami arriving at Syrup Village, where they meet Usopp, a local boy known for his tall tales and exaggerated stories of pirate attacks. Usopp's dream is to become a brave warrior of the sea, inspired by his father, Yasopp, who is a member of Shanks's crew. The village is under threat from Kuro, a former pirate captain who has been living in disguise as the butler Klahadore in the mansion of Kaya, a wealthy but sickly girl. Kuro plans to kill Kaya and inherit her fortune by using his crew, the Black Cat Pirates. When Usopp discovers this plot, he tries to warn the villagers, but they dismiss his warnings as more lies. Luffy, Zoro, and Nami believe him and decide to help defend the village. A fierce battle ensues, with Luffy and his crew facing off against Kuro and his minions. Despite Kuro's speed and cunning, Luffy ultimately defeats him, saving Kaya and the village. Grateful for their help, Kaya gives the crew a ship, the Going Merry, to aid them in their journey. Usopp, inspired by Luffy's bravery and determination, decides to join the crew as their sharpshooter, marking another significant addition to the Straw Hat Pirates. The arc concludes with the crew setting sail on the Going Merry, ready for new adventures. The Baratie arc is the fourth arc in One Piece, where the Straw Hat Pirates encounter new friends and fierce foes while experiencing dramatic battles on the high seas. The story begins with Luffy, Zoro, Nami, and Usopp sailing on their new ship, the Going Merry. They soon run into Johnny and Yosaku, bounty hunter friends of Zoro, who direct them to the Baratie, a floating restaurant in search of a cook for their crew. At the Baratie, they meet Sanji, a skilled chef who dreams of finding the All Blue, a legendary sea where fish from all the world's oceans gather. Sanji works under the strict but kind owner, Zeph, a former pirate who once saved Sanji's life. The peaceful atmosphere of the Baratie is shattered when Don Krieg, a feared pirate captain, arrives seeking food and shelter. Despite his ruthlessness, Zeph provides him with food, showcasing the restaurant's guiding principle of never turning away a hungry person. Krieg, however, betrays their kindness and attempts to take over the Baratie to rebuild his fleet. A fierce battle erupts, with Luffy and the crew defending the restaurant. Luffy fights valiantly against Krieg's overwhelming arsenal of weapons and sheer brutality. With determination and his rubber abilities, Luffy eventually defeats Krieg, earning the respect of the Baratie staff. Meanwhile, a powerful swordsman named Mihawk, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, appears and effortlessly defeats Zoro in a duel, demonstrating the immense gap between them. Despite his loss, Zoro vows to become the world's greatest swordsman and never lose again. Impressed by Luffy's resolve and inspired by Zeph's belief in following one's dreams, Sanji decides to join the Straw Hat Pirates, becoming their cook. With Sanji now part of the crew, the Straw Hat Pirates leave the Baratie and set sail for their next destination, their bonds stronger and their determination to reach the Grand Line unwavering. This arc marks significant growth for the crew, both in terms of their skills and their unity, setting the stage for the greater challenges that lie ahead. The Arlong Park arc is a pivotal arc in One Piece, focusing on themes of freedom, oppression, and the power of friendship. The arc begins with the Straw Hat Pirates, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji, sailing towards Kokoyasi Village, Nami's home. Along the way, they learn more about Nami's past and the reason behind her behavior as a thief and navigator. Upon arriving, they discover that the village is under the tyrannical rule of Arlong, a fishman pirate who believes in the superiority of his race over humans. Arlong has been extorting the villagers for years, forcing Nami to work for him to gather money to buy back her village's freedom. Nami's tragic past is revealed. She was adopted by a kind-hearted former Marine named Belle Mare, who was killed by Arlong when she refused to pay his exorbitant tribute. Since then, Nami has been secretly saving money to fulfill her promise to Belle Mare and liberate her village. When Arlong betrays Nami and takes her money, Luffy and his crew decide to help her despite her initial resistance. Luffy, moved by Nami's plight, places his treasured straw hat on her head and vows to defeat Arlong. The Straw Hat Pirates launch an all-out assault on Arlong Park, fighting Arlong and his fishman crew. Each member of the Straw Hat Pirates faces off against a formidable opponent. Usopp versus Chu. Usopp proves his bravery and determination, defeating Chu with clever tactics. Sanji versus Kurubi. Sanji's fierce martial